channel and welcome to my nerd cave. I'm going to show you guys around a little bit. I'm going to show you around the nerd cave just a little bit, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about why this has become such an obsession. I think an obsession. I don't know if an obsession is a bad thing. To me, it's not. I guess I'm not obsessed in the way of it controls my life. I just enjoy everything that's in this room. I enjoy comic books, I enjoy superheroes, I enjoy action figures, I enjoy Legos, I enjoy gaming, and everything that's in this room is all stuff that I love, and for a reason. So I'm just going to kind of show you around the nerd cave a little bit, and then I'm going to sit down and talk to you guys and tell you why this has become what it's become, and why I'm so wrapped up into the awesomeness of this. Now, a little disclaimer: the nerd cave is a work in progress. My vision for the nerd cave is I want to purchase nice glass cases and put things in nice glass cases and have things. Right now it is what it is. Right now I have it displayed, and I think I have it displayed nicely. But my vision for a nerd cave one day is everything in light up cases and real super nice. But that takes time, that takes money, and that takes something that I'm just not ready to invest in at the moment. But I do love my nerd cave. I do love this space, and this space is a nerd cave slash home office slash where I do my work. If you don't know, I'm a graphic designer, I'm a web designer, I'm a videographer, and I'm a video editor, and I do all my work up here. So, without further ado, let's take a look at this nerd cave. Alrighty guys, so what you're looking at here is my workstation. This is where I edit video, this is where I do graphic design, this is where I do web design, this is where I do the bulk, well, all of my work. I do all of my work sitting here at this desk, and it's I love it. I love it. I got the big window right behind my big monitor, and I can look out my window and I can watch the birds and the squirrels as I'm working, and when I need a break from staring at the monitor, I can just look right outside and enjoy a little bit of nature, and it's awesome. So this is where I make the videos, and my gaming videos and all that stuff gets done here. Plus this is where I shoot a lot of my videos during the week if I'm just sitting down and talking. This is where it happens, and this is where the work gets done. This is where I stay very busy. And what better place to stay very busy than surrounded by things that you find very interesting. Alright guys, this is my comic book shelf. I do have more comic books in other places, but this is my comic book shelf, and I have thousands and thousands of comic books that I've been collecting for a very long time and over the years. And I love getting wrapped up and lost into the stories of these books. And there's some very old books in here. There's some very key issue books in here. There's books that have value, but the value to me isn't really a dollar sign, and that's no lie. The value to me is what I get out of the book and what the enjoyment I get from reading it. And I know that may sound a little sappy, but it's the truth. I really love reading these stories. I really love getting lost in these pages. And I love comic books. I love superheroes, and I collect. I love to collect. Do I look for key issues? Absolutely. Absolutely. I look for anything that's going to continue a storyline of a certain book. It is comic books. It is what I love, and I do find much enjoyment out of and have found many years of enjoyment out of all the books that are sitting on this shelf. Alrighty guys, so what you're looking at is my action figure shelf. A lot of these action figures are figures that I bought brand new, but some of these figures have a lot of sentimental value wrapped up in them. Some of these figures are figures that my son gave me. Some of these figures are figures that my friend gave me. or my nephew gave me. And some of these figures have been around for a very, very long time. A couple of these figures are figures I have had since I was a little kid. But most of these are figures that I purchased through the years, simply because I do love action figures. I like the sculpture and the artistic aspect of every piece, and every piece feels like art to me. And honestly, that's a lot of the reason why, a big reason why I collect this kind of stuff is for the art that I see in it. And it does take an artist to create any type of action figure. It takes an artist to sketch the idea, and an artist to sculpt the mock-up, and someone to paint it. And there is a whole lot involved in creating an action figure that maybe a kid just throws in his toy box every day. For me, it's not going in a toy box, it's going on a shelf, and it's being displayed as an art piece. And I love action figures, I love pop vinyls, I love statues, I love anything, new or old. I find value in each one of these pieces on this shelf, and there's a reason that it is on the action figure shelf, and it's because I find it worthy to be there. And to be honest with you, you could not hand me any action figure that I would not find worthy to have a place on my action figure shelf. And right here is my Lego shelf, and it is definitely a work in progress, and I do have a lot of unbuilt Legos that I need to work on. And what got me started in Legos? I never really had an interest in Legos at all. And one year, my niece bought me a Lego set as just kind of a funny gift for Easter, because I was jokingly complaining that I didn't get an Easter basket for Easter. And my niece went out and bought me an Easter basket, and it had a Lego set in it. And I built that Lego set as a video for my YouTube channel, right here on the Steve Tooley channel. I built that Lego set, and I instantly fell in love with it. I found that so much fun, and that started my Lego journey of buying and building and buying and building. And I love hands-on, I love creating, I love building with my hands. I love this type of stuff, and Lego is awesome. It is awesome. The kits that you can buy and build, you can virtually build anything. And then if you are a custom builder, you can virtually build anything you want. And there's some pretty impressive custom builders out there. And I find myself wanting Legos for a lot of the same reason that I want action figures. There is definitely an artistic value there. Custom creators build things that are mind-blowing, and just the kits that you can buy, for example the Wall-E sitting there on the side, that is amazing that is created out of snap together blocks. I do love Lego, and Lego, there's a lot of artistic value in Lego as well. Plus it's a very creative process to get to the final result. I do love Lego, guys. I do love Lego. And that corner that we just looked at is kind of a mishmash corner of a lot of different things. This figure we're looking at is a Thanos figure, and it's a very expensive Thanos figure, and it was a gift from my nephew, which makes it so much more valuable to me than even what he paid for it. And he gave that to me because he knows I love the villain Thanos, and he knows I love action figures, and he shares the same love for action figures and superheroes and you know, collectibles as I do. So this corner is a bit of a mixed match of stuff. It is plushes and figures and things that I've collected. And over here is my Kiss shelf, and I have 4 Kiss action figures. It's a double shelf. I have 4 Kiss action figures, and the Ace Frehley piece that you see displayed is a piece by a local artist from Danville, Illinois. His name's John Jansky, and he's a speed painter and just an incredible artist. And my very first videography gig and my very first job with the company that I helped start with a friend of mine named Zach, called Real Image Media Solutions. Our very first gig was shooting video with John Jansky and Ace Frehley at an Ace Frehley concert in Danville, Illinois. That was my very first videography gig, and that was what got the career started. And I've always been a Kiss fan. My brother-in-law got me started loving Kiss, and he has to be the biggest Kiss fan I know. He got me loving Kiss when I was a kid. And to have the experience of meeting Ace Frehley and sitting next to Ace on a couch and shooting video of him and being backstage watching Ace come out on stage with his smoking guitar and shooting video of the whole process and putting together a video of the event is an experience I will never, ever forget. And so this shelf is dedicated to that event and dedicated to the beginning of something awesome. And who doesn't love Kiss? I mean, they're legends. They're rock legends. And I love artwork, guys. I love art, and I have many different pieces of art, from just posters that I bought, posters that were given to me by my kids. I have a framed poster of the Justice League on my wall that my son gave me for Christmas one year, and I will cherish that forever. I have pieces that are signed. I have pieces that are signed by original pieces that are signed by artists. I have posters that are signed by actors, and I have a lot of art. I have a lot of comic book related and superhero related art. I have art that's signed by some of my favorite artists, Jeff Gaither being one of them. He has signed 2 pieces for me, and Rat Fink is a character I will never ever forget. And Jeff Gaither is an artist that I've loved his work since I was a child. I have signed pieces by actors. I put together a poster that my business partner Zach snapped a picture at a haunted attraction, and I made a horror movie poster out of it. And we was at a horror history convention, and a bunch of actors from that convention signed the poster. I have all sorts of art. I love art. As I said, the reason, one of the big reasons I collect all this stuff is for the artistic aspect involved in all of it. And so I collect art pieces as well. And this piece we're looking at right now is very, very special to me. Flash is my favorite superhero, and this piece was done for me, was sent to me by surprise. I didn't know it was coming. From a friend of mine who is like a brother to me, and who has been away for a very, very long time, and is coming home next year. And he sent me this piece, and he wasn't much of an artist when he left here, but he's been working on that, as you can tell, and he's done a very nice job with this art piece. And he sent that to me, and he sent it to me in that makeshift frame, and I thought it was so cool that I just left it exactly the way he sent it to me. So that is a very, very special piece to me, and I'll always cherish it. Alright guys, so that is the Nerd Cave. That is the stuff that I love. That is the stuff that I'm very much into. And there's good reason for it. It goes a little deeper than, okay, I mean, if you think about comic books, you think about superheroes, you think about the movies, you think about how awesome they are and how well they're made and how well they're written, and the superheroes and their abilities, and all of that is like, that is freaking cool. but it goes a little deeper than that for me. It goes a little bit deeper than that. I've explained before, growing up, I was very much a social outcast. I had a hard time relating to people. I had a hard time connecting with people. I had a hard time allowing people into my personal space. And I honestly didn't want that. So when I was younger, I always dreamt of the superhuman ability to become invisible. In my mind, I thought that was the ultimate superpower. You could become invisible. While you are invisible, if you had to fight a villain, he would not even know where you were, and you could do whatever you wanted to bring that villain down, and he would have no clue where you were. And the reason I wanted that ability to become invisible because I found it comforting. When I felt overwhelmed by being in a social situation, and I felt you know, it just felt like too much sometimes. I just wanted to become invisible. And one way that I was able to achieve my superhuman ability was getting lost in something, just letting my mind just get so involved in something that I wasn't paying attention to what was going on outside of what was going on in my head. I was very inward. I loved getting lost inside my own imagination. And getting lost in the story of a comic book, or getting lost in a movie, or getting lost in a video game was very comforting to me. And that's what grew this fascination with comic books, and this fascination with video games, and fascination with superheroes, and watching movies and things like that, because it's somewhere I can get lost. Now, nowadays, I'm 44 years old. I've been dealing with this my whole life. Nowadays, I'm becoming more socially okay. It's still uncomfortable sometimes, like I said, especially in my personal surroundings. When someone wants to come to my house, I find that a little unnerving and uncomfortable. When someone wants to invade my personal space, and I know they're not trying to invade, I know they're just, you know, they just want to come and hang out, but I unless it's my kids, I find that very unnerving. I don't like it. But socially, I'm getting better with relating to people and talking to people and connecting with people. With the line of work I've gotten into, that's really helped. I'm around a lot of people. So it's getting better, but it's been an issue my whole life, and that's why I have found this fascination, because I could get lost in that. I could get lost in a lot of things. I could get lost in graphic design and graphic editing programs. I mean, my wife knows I started graphic design 16 years ago, and I would spend, when I discovered Photoshop, I would spend all day long in that program. That's why I got so good at it. I know Photoshop like I know the back of my hand, pretty much. I mean, there's Photoshop, dear Lord, in the way of a graphic program, it's always been ahead of its time, and this program can do everything. You can do animation, you can do 3D modeling, you can do, you know, graphic design, you can edit photos, you can build. I mean, Photoshop will do it all. And I, for 16 years, I've been working with Photoshop, and I honestly, when I would get started in something, when I got started in video editing, when I got started in web design, I would literally spend hours upon hours lost in the program. And I learned a lot, but it was just the fact that I could become invisible. And I very much like that. So I have a fascination with comic books. I've built my nerd cave over the years because, for one, I like to collect. For two, I have a hard time really getting rid of anything. I'm not a hoarder. I'm actually very organized, and I'm very much a neat freak. I like things in its place. I like things to look nice and tidy. But I am a collector. And I don't like to get rid of anything if I find a little bit of a sentimental attachment to it. And everything in here has a bit of a sentimental attachment to it. And I talked about this in a video one time also about why I love comic books, and I was talking a little bit about bullying and things like that. But I also love comic books because the stories are written in a way that it can be real. It can feel real. It's not like you know, you have a superhero and a villain and the superhero always wins. That's not the case. There's been many times in the Marvel world and the DC world and the comic book universe, there's been many times that superheroes have failed. Superheroes didn't prevail. And I find that to be fascinating, because if Spider-Man can make a mistake, or if Flash can make a mistake, then, I mean, why can't I make a mistake? And failing was always an issue with me. I hated to fail, and believe me, growing up and in my adult life, I did much of it, and it would just bring me down. But honestly, I would think about on the terms of someone who is supposed to be pretty epic and superhuman has failed. It's okay to fail. And I know that to get that life lesson from the pages of a comic book is a little weird, but hey, wherever you get the life lesson from, as long as you're getting that life lesson, and then I don't think it's weird at all. And failure is okay. It's hard to accept, and it does suck, but it is okay. It's okay to fail. A lot of times that's one way to learn how not to fail, is by failing. And I've discovered that in graphic design, you make stupid mistakes, and you're just like, holy crap, but you've learned from that stupid mistake. So the way to not make that failing mistake again is to make the mistake. I've learned that through a lot of things. Videography is the same way. You know, sometimes I've lost footage because I've formatted video cards, and it's like a huge epic fail to lose footage. You can't get that back. You got a client waiting for footage. I failed at that one time, and I've never done it since. So failure is okay, and I've learned that from comic books. I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot about my life through the pages of comic books and through watching you know, the comic book shows on TV and the movies. Oh, I know it sounds ridiculous. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it doesn't. But it really is who I am. And a lot of this has really made me who I am today. And a lot of this has made me, you know, a better person, I think, in a lot of ways. So I love my Nerd Cave. It is very sentimental, and every piece in here has a story behind it, and that's a guarantee. Every comic book, no pun intended, has a story behind it. Every action figure, every piece of art has a little piece of something, you know, to it, more than just a piece of art. So you have it, guys. That is my Nerd Cave. I know this went a little deep, and maybe it was stupid. I don't know. I'm just trying to explain to people who may wonder what makes me so fascinated by this stuff. And maybe you don't care. I don't know. I'm just making a video. Anyway, guys, thank you for coming to the Steve Tooley channel. Thank you so much for watching this episode inside my Nerd Cave, and why my Nerd Cave is what it is. And I thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in my next video, which is Monday during the weekend vlog. And again, we're back to our regularly scheduled Steve Tooley channel. With all the stuff that I do, I've just been busy. Thank you guys for coming. I'll see you Monday.